Hello? Is it working now? Apparently, OBS didn't immediately track which microphone I was wanting to use. And thank you, Snooze, for the follow. You are now a Lily Pal. Anyway, oh happy! So I was trying to say, tonight is kind of a special stream. This game is rather dear to my heart. I suppose, like, I just wanted to quickly get out of the way, before getting started proper. Normally, this game's visuals are incredibly, like, extremely simple, but in a super confusing way. Which is to say, like, vanilla Dwarf Fortress is nothing but ASCII characters that represent various things in the game. But I'm playing the game how I originally started out, by playing with what's known as the Lazy Noob Pack, which provides a special retexturing, like a texture pack, text-based of a sort. There's also like various colors to help distinguish various things. But we're not going to be dealing with that today because I care about accessibility for my viewers. So you'll be able to more easily tell what's what in the game. But anyhow, I know on Twitter yesterday I threw out a line for some of my Lily Pals, and so far I got 10 responses. A couple from a couple of Lily Pals in the chat here. Basically, I wanted your names so I could give you government-assigned dwarfs that will be taken care of in this new fort. And anything can happen. It could be devastating, nefarious, or something truly beautiful and glorious. Protect my door. We'll see. Your door. Yeah, and I guess what made me decide to do something like sort of interactive like this is, was it? I think it was last Saturday. Like, I was informed I hit 200 Lily Pals here on Twitch. Thank you all so much. I'm so grateful. I love all of you. Big froggy hugs. Yeah, so I decided to do something a little bit more special, a little more dedicated to my Lily Pals, and that results in government-assigned dwarves for this new fortress. But I know there was something I wanted to do in the game before we actually started playing the game true. But I guess I could probably bring up the game for us right now. The resolution might start off a bit funky because there's sort of this cleverly designed opening cutscene. And tell me if it's too loud. It's by Bay 12 Games. Ooh, it's tiny. Why is it tiny? There we go. we had a dwarf getting a little too careless in striking the earth. But anyhow, welcome to Dwarf Fortress. This game is quite close to my heart in quite a few ways, for simultaneously being both the simplest aesthetically to, bar none, one of the most complex, detailed games ever designed. I know there is a music. Let me turn it up here. It's very chill, very dwarfy acoustic guitar. So first things first, before we can actually start playing the game, we have to create a new world. And the fun thing about Dwarf Fortress is an excruciating amount of detail that goes into the generation of these worlds. To their history, to their geography, like, you know, you literally have details such as, like, rivers that gradually erode the landscape over time, you know, and then various biomes and resources available. What I kind of wanted to do was just to kind of take a little peek-see into the world that we're going to be venturing into before playing proper, just to give you all kind of a taste of the kind of work, the kind of stuff that goes into this game. We're going to do a small size world, which, don't let the term fool you, it's actually quite a sizable globe map. History, we can go as little as 5 years of all known dwarven history, up to 1050. But I'm pretty sure, based on the way the game is coded, we can't get too big into numbers. But then again, I'm kind of curious, like, what Strega will be able to manage. Let's try 250. We can always, like, preemptively cut it short during the world generation if we need to. Number of civilizations, let's go low, like only just a handful. Max number of sites, how many settlements do we want? Still packing. Hi, wifey! We haven't started just yet. Ready to dwarf it up. Let's try to keep it on medium for the number of sites. Number of beasts. There are big bad monsters in this game, and they provide, like, one of the more interesting aspects of the game, both in regards to lore and to gameplay. Like, we can have dragons, we can have giants, and then there are titans and forgotten beasts, which are entirely procedurally generated. So those can be really wacky or really scary. Let's go high. I want some fantasy in this world. Natural savagery. I guess just generally I never truly understood mechanically what savagery usually intends, other than just it influences the wildlife, the general wildlife around the world. We can keep it at medium. Mineral occurrence. We're dwarves. We want minerals, metals, and gems everywhere. Alright, so with all these parameters set, let's take a look. Alright, it's now generating. The portentous domain, Neuralroth. Let's see. Okay, yeah, even with Strega's processing power, like, the game does start to, like, lag a bit. You know, after a certain period of world gen. Sure, let's go with the year 192. And we have a little cursor that I can control. The dwarfs are too strong! Let me move chat box up so my PNG isn't blocking it. Anyway, so here we got our world. It's pretty much just a single continent. It's known as the Continents of Hardiness. These are like almost islands down here to the southeast, but they're still connected to the mainland. There's a true island right here, the island of Spiraling. And we can see it from the way the oceans are shaped up here. There's a lot of tundra and ice. Like, it's really, really cold up north, to which I assume down south is where it gets really hot. You know, the worlds don't automatically assign, like, a north and south pole. There could just be one chilly pole, and everything on the opposite side is scorching. But anyway, to sort of elaborate on some of the symbols you see here, obviously, like, all the green stuff is, like, assumedly grass and forests and such. These gray triangles are mountains. The blue stuff is water, of course, with these little lines being rivers. This little circle, the brown circly thing, this is a fort owned by goblins. They're not always goblins, but it just so happens goblins are running this fort over here. And I can only assume that we're gonna be at war with the goblins, like, right off the bat. Up here in the mountains, like, just here and around, we have, like, these little horseshoe symbols. This is us. These are the dwarven towns, hillocks, and cities. These little, they might be kind of hard to pick out, but, like, these little scratches, like these little lines, they belong to humans. We get along pretty well with humans. Apparently right here there's a desert. The Desert of Temptation. Ooh. Hi, Ark! See, that's colored ASCII. In a console, I gotta say there are quite a few gems in console games. yeah, this is kind of a taste of how the game appears vanilla-wise. Gonna learn, wish you a good stream. Well, good lurking. Thanks for coming by, Ark. Goblins, are they evil? The goblin civilization? A little tricky because I don't believe in bioessentialism, but we're probably most definitely at war with the goblins, and they do hold rather questionable ideals most of the time. But usually some of that corruption is thanks to the fact that when goblin civilizations show up, they're usually run by, you know, a dictator-like demon of sorts. And the demons in this game are also procedurally generated. So it's ultimately the demon that's, or demons, because I can see there's a couple of, like these little pink pie symbols are dark goblin fortresses. This is Entustamsu. No idea what that translates to. Which, by the way, dwarves, goblins, humans, and... I'm gonna check. Yep, we got elves. They all have their own languages, but it's not like No Man's Sky, where, like, you have to slowly but surely learn each language. And they don't really function like true languages do. It's just, yeah, it's just a differentiating detail between each civilization. And, yeah, so anywhere where we see, like, these purple circly things, those are goblin sites. This is another dark fortress, but it seems to be, goblin only. Usually when it's pink, that usually indicates like the demon is alive and active. And as we can see over here, there's a forest retreat of elves. The elven forest retreat of Nisalia. And down here is another forest retreat, but this symbol is kind of unique in that it kind of applies across any civilization. What this symbol means is that the site was essentially attacked and, for all intents and purposes, destroyed. Like, it's in ruins now. We can see, like, there's a few dwarven sites that have the same symbol. Tingathaneth, Zonbardum, Rigoslokun. Yeah. So we kind of got the best of every world so far. Oh yeah, the Desert of Temptation is what I call Vegas. Procedurally generated demons sounds amazing, and they are. I mean, in theory, they could actually be very, very silly, but nevertheless, like, just like the Titans and such, they can be extremely dangerous. Just all depends. So, anyway, this is Niraroth, the portentous domain, and we live now in the Age of Myth, in the year 192. Oh, wait. Wrong button. Okay, I guess it's the year 199. Fine. Use the world as it currently exists. Okay, now we're set. So, we're going to confirm this world. We are going to accept it as it is. And we're just going to take a little peek at some of the features that this world offers us. Because I always like taking a look at our setting. So we go into Legends mode, and it will tell us all there is to know. From historical figures, sites, artifacts, codices, scrolls, regions, civilizations, structures, maps, and just a general overview of the entire history of like major events. Let's start with civilizations. Starting with the Amber Trumpet. This is a dwarven civilization that has originated in the very beginning, in the first year. Let's see it. Ooh. Right here, in the year 1, the dwarf necromancer Mistem Socket Cloisters became the diplomat of the Amber Trumpet. Yeah, there's necromancy in this game. There are... Yeah, this is a very in-depth history regarding simply the Amber Trumpet in particular. Oh, nope. Cannot scroll with the scroll wheel. I have a new mouse, so yeah, I'm gonna have to scroll this way. Let's see if we can try and find the current ruler. Possibly. Maybe. There might be too much to parse. We can see who the first ruler was. The dwarf Moses Safety Papers became the king of the Amber Trumpet. And apparently our very first mountain home was called Vessel Salves, constructed by the Dagger of Spears. Yeah, it's many things. Let's see. Also founded Most Salve, and in the late winter of 1, the Amber Trumpet held a performance of the Quiescent Lute. Quiescent? In Vessel Salves as part of the Creative Festival. Festivals are purely, like, backstory stuff, where the only festivals we can have is if they are self-imposed. Sadly. But, like, yeah, there was a Warhammer throwing competition with 6 competitors, and the dwarf Etor Moral Page was the victor. Let's see, in the late spring of the year 2, the Bronze Colossus Utost Fightboar, the Diamond of Whips, routed the rack of extrication of the Amber Trumpet and destroyed Most Salve. So it was only constructed in 1, and only existed for 1 year, before being destroyed by a Bronze Colossus. No joke, by the way. Bronze Colossi are nasty. Yeah, so that's the Amber Trumpet. Let's see if we can pick out some of the other civilizations. The Hoary Scourge is a goblin civilization, and is ruled by the gopher monster Nika Ugly Starved the Frothy Future. The Radiant Deceiver of the Hoary Scourge constructed the Breakfasts of Maligning and Buckflies. I think that has to do with, like, the origin of... Or no, the Radiant Deceiver is, wait. Breakfasts of Maligning. I'm just gonna take a look. Is it in here? No. No. Artifacts. Nope. It must have been a group, like sort of a sub-civilization or something. I don't know. Or no, maybe it must have been the structure. Here we go. Oh, it's a tavern. In Buckflies. In the midwinter of 37, the goblin Olgo Ruthless Year did poorly gambling in Buckflies at the breakfasts of maligning and went into debt. Various working histories. Ooh! The late summer of 109, the human diseased thrall, Ramkal Dot Rhythmic, formed the immoral disloyalty in the breakfasts of maligning and Buckflies. Diseased thralls. I think that has a relation to necromancers. The Dagger of Spears is something I'm having trouble imagining because my brain wants to make it the other way around of Spear of Daggers. I know. The artifacts in the world, to some extent, can also be procedurally generated. Let's take a look at the very first one. Blamestalker, the Clasp of Burden, was a legendary bismuth bronze spear. This is a bismuth bronze spear. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is encircled with bands of sterling silver. It was created in vessel salves by the dwarf Avu's Swordjoin, and it was offered to Cadal Bearwinds of the Amber Trumpet, and it was then made a symbol of the king of the Amber Trumpet. And then in the year 33, it was lost in Help Paged, and then it was found by Doran Tealworked, offered to Dacost Brass United. And then in the late spring of 73, it was lost in vessel salves once again. How is it lost again? I'm curious. Vessel salves. You can take a look. 73. Oh my. My. Oof. This is a history. So late spring of 73. In summary, a lot of people were killed. Struck down by the forgotten beast, Gongeth Hollowholes, the Little Flex. The dwarf returned stalker. Okay. Going back to civs quick. The elven civilization of the Brushed Horns, I have reason to assume that this is the only elven civilization that exists. The Realm of Destiny is the human civ. Sailder is a kobold civilization. They have their own language too, but they're not entirely civilized. Like, they're basically just like a collective of thieving tribes. A second human civilization, known as the Tempted Confederations. Chlildis, the Poison of Chasms, is another goblin civ. Entrancing Gorge is a second dwarven civ. And that's it for, like, the major civilizations. Lastly, let's just take a look at some of some of the historical figures. Starting, of course, with the mega beasts. We have Ongong Warmglows the Gilded, a female dragon. Utost Fightboar, the Bronze Colossus. Osmaz Bloat Juices, the Meteor of Tops, a female Hydra that was apparently killed in the year 35. San Powered Calls, the Pair of Buds, a female rock. And there was another Hydra that was also killed. And then we have a butt ton of Forgotten Beasts, which this one was actually killed. Omethu Shadow Poison, the Terrible Cavern. It was the only one of its kind, a great scaly tick. It has thin wings of stretched skin and it undulates rhythmically. Its golden yellow scales are large and close set. Beware its fire. Omethu was associated with torture and caverns. Just FYI, every Forgotten Beast is associated with caverns, because that's where they come from. And it has 18 notable kills, along with 16 anonymous kills. And it was struck down by a dwarf in gift caves. Just a dwarf. A detail that's forever lost in time. Here we can see the Titans. There are 4 Titans, but one of them is dead. Aria, Pear Drink the Hairy, the only one of its kind, an enormous lizard composed of coral. It has wings and it moves about carelessly. Beware its webs. Aria was associated with rivers, plants, nature, and animals. Struck down by a goblin in Oil Bad. Frankly, that's for the best, because anything with webs is horrifying, to say the least. We also have various night creatures that have the ability to kidnap and transform like regular, like dwarves, humans, elves, goblins. I'm not gonna take a look at any of them in particular, but we also have gods. They don't really do anything currently. They're just kind of there for people to worship. However, I know for dwarven and human gods, if you find a shrine or like a pedestal that has a dice, like a single die, you can roll it. Like if you're playing adventure mode, you know, which is basically like you're playing a single character. You can find a dice on a pedestal, and it will either bless or curse you. And, you know, usually these die are blessed by the gods, so yeah. NECA Ugly Starved, one of the demons that runs the Hoary Scourge, is a gopher monster. A great scaly gopher twisted into humanoid form. It has a bloated body. Its black scales are jagged and close set. Beware its deadly blood. NECA was associated with rebirth, food, disease, deformity, and death. In a time before time, NECA thrust a spire of Slade up from the underworld, naming it the Future Palace, and established a gateway between worlds and buckflies. So yeah. Orun Wraithmobbed aided NECA in becoming a permanent part of the living world, that great fortresses might be razed and tested in siege. The ritual took place in robust blocks using Cyclone Cat, the vigor of taking. So Orun is assumedly a god of some sort. Can take a quick little peek at some of the dwarven gods, I assume of the Amber Trumpet. Yeah. Thethris, beige color. A goddess of minerals and jewels. Something that I always like to think is that the first god that's listed in a pantheon is like the ruling god of the pantheon. So like for the Amber Trumpets pantheon of gods, like Thethris here would be sort of like the all-mother goddess of minerals and jewels. Perfect for dwarven kind. Attempted Confederation sounds like Vegas to me. And there's also Lemul Granite Steel, a god of mountains. The Amber Trumpets only has like a handful of gods. Urtal is a goddess of balance and wealth. Moldath the Mountainous Rock, a god of metals. And, Orun Wraithmobbed, a rotting god associated with theft, fortresses, war, and death. So there you go, this is the god that aided NECA in rising to the surface world. Cattle Treaty Legend, the Aqua Barb of Discovery, a male dwarf returned stalker. I'm just kind of curious. So, in the early spring of the year 9, Cattle was struck down by NECA in the Taciturn Murk. But then, in the late spring of 66, he was brought back from the dead by the dwarf necromancer Mistem Socket Cloisters as a returned stalker. I see. Yeah, that's something that necromancers can do. They can not only like raise like ordinary zombies and such, they can also like raise ghouls. Like they're essentially like intelligent undead. And oftentimes, like, after rising from the dead, they usually come with, like, some sort of unique superpower. I am also curious about the other demon that's running the other goblin civ. Vathi Evilbook, the Ungodly. A three-eyed devil, and she was the only one of her kind. An enormous three-eyed hedgehog twisted into humanoid form. She has a bloated body. Beware its fire. Vathi was associated with torture and scholarship, of all things. The Rust of Nightmares aided Vathi in becoming a permanent part of the living world, that it might bathe in misery forever. And she is the master of the poison of chasms. Yep. And then we got, more gods, more, like, first peoples. We have a few beasties down here. We got Ettins, Cyclopes, Minotaurs, Giants, a male giant dingo. Anyway, I think that's about enough of a primer for the world that we'll be settling into. So otherwise, yeah, in Dwarf Fortress there's two main ways to play. There's Fortress Mode and Adventurer Mode. Adventurer Mode is when you control a single character, but we're going to be playing Fortress Mode. This is what you're all here for. Oh yeah, and we have calendars. Or like a calendar that's like every month is concisely 28 days long, and there are 3 months per season. It's very neat and organized. So, what you're seeing here, 2 different versions of the world map. For you see, we have to decide where this new settlement is going to be, like where we're going to build. We need some place where we can grow food, as well as mine out ore and stone and gems. We also need a decent supply of wood starting out. Water would be nice. And you know, sand and clay is usually nice, but not necessary. We also have to be careful about any aquifers that we settle into. Let's look at this spot right here. It's a temperate freshwater marsh, the taciturn murk. It has a temperate temperature. It's a woodland, so there's a fair number of trees, moderate vegetation, untamed wilds. That usually indicates the wildlife is a little more unusual than the rest of the world. The name of the nearby stream is known as Touch Dwells. We got sand, very deep soil, shallow metals, deep metals, and a fluxstone layer. What a fluxstone layer indicates is that basically we have the means to forge steel, which would be very helpful. So yeah, like on the left side we can see like all of the present occupied sites, and then over on the right we can see like the world a little more clearly, like for what it is. Let me take a look. So our neighbors, we would have contact with all 4 civilizations: dwarves, goblins, elves, and humans. I can see there's kind of a red streak where goblins are. That usually means we're not at war yet, but like tensions are high. We can also pick which dwarven civilization we hail from, in which case I'm comfortable coming from the Amber Trumpet. Elevation. We'd be settling at relatively low elevation. It's not too big a deal. Just to indicate cliffs, hills. There's not too much in that respect. Yeah, over here you can see like a little mini map. Essentially this square, I can move it around as well as shrink and expand it. This is essentially our entire, like, our property, our fortress property. Everything that we see is going to, or like everything that our fortress is going to be interacting with is directly where this square is. And again, I can shrink it or expand it. Usually I like to do 3x3 just for the sake of like processing speed. Usually when there's trees and such, it's usually a good idea to take like a smaller claim of land. Yeah. Let me... Yeah, I think that looks okay. We do have to take note that there is an aquifer, a light aquifer, which isn't too big a deal. Light aquifers just mean, like, when we start digging, essentially we're gonna start, like, digging into, kind of an inherent water supply. But because it's a light aquifer, like, it's not gonna be, like, pouring water as soon as we strike into it. It's gonna be very slow, very gradual. And I think if we manage to play smart, we could possibly work with it. But typically, like, aquifers, as a general rule, are pretty annoying. Actually, what about over here? It's telling me that the aquifer is mainly present, like, where these hills are. I think I could probably skip out on the aquifer entirely. We already have a stream to deal with. I am a little concerned in regards to the temperature. We are a little bit up north. You know, like, a temperate temperature is pretty reasonable, but when it comes wintertime, there's a possibility that the river could freeze, and that could be a problem down the line. But I think as it stands, let's go with this. Okay, yeah, because I'm playing with mods and such. This is basically a lot of pre-made like expedition setups, I guess. Let's just use easy start made for new players. Alright, here comes the part you've all been waiting for. Usually settlements are right next to lakes or rivers, right? But I'm all for weird wildlife. Hello, Zero. Welcome, welcome. Forest fortresses are very pog. Generally, the dwarves would disagree with you. So, yeah, in essence, this screen is where we would allocate various skill points and such to our starting dwarves. Every new fort starts with 7 dwarves launching an expedition to the site in question. They come with various skills and talents and personalities. First and foremost, I know I have a total of 12 people that are participating in the nicknaming. I will say I'm gonna go in order, like, from top to bottom. And the first 2, like, I'm just automatically gonna hand to a couple of people who are very near and dear to me, just because I said I would, like, right off the bat. But after those 2, it's gonna be selected via the spin of a wheel that I've got set up. So, Solon Ganadmilbil. Customize. Oh. You are going to be Stellar Empress's government-assigned dwarf. And then next, Coolette Likotatat. Tiny Brain Plays. For Tiny, my wifey. Kulet is Tiny's government-assigned dwarf. Alright. Stellar Empress's dwarf is a very proficient miner. Very handy for digging out the tunnels. And then Kulet is also a miner, as well as having skills with weaponsmithing, working furnaces, mechanisms, also a novice diagnostician? Basically, they're good at identifying, like, ailments or disease, so they would be a decent candidate for our chief medical dwarf, which is a real job. Next is Iral Suvazaral, a proficient mason and stonecrafter. Bring up the wheel, and who is it gonna be? It's Chroma! Okay. Chroma. And I know after we start the game proper, we can take a deeper look into the psyches of these dwarves, what makes them tick, what they're all about. Next is Sikun Gimuradil, carpenter, building designer, woodcrafter, bone carver, gem setter and cutter, a butcher and a tanner. Just all over the place. Pretty much gonna be our main crafts dwarf. I was titties years old and I noticed you said dwarf and not door at the start. Oh, tree. You're so silly. Alright. Next up. The next government-assigned dwarf is Gum Gum. Gum Gum. Next is Solon Ingishathram. Proficient grower, herbalist, brewer, and cook. Very important job for dwarven settlements is the brewer. Dwarves need their alcohol. Seriously. They can't get through the working day without some alcohol. So, who's gonna be? DJ Pingu! Man, it's just anybody except Tack or Arbo. DJ Pingu. The most prestigious drink maker. Got two left. Uzal Rushralibash, novice woodcutter, skilled axeman, novice dodger, as well as a leader, a teacher, and has adequate discipline. So, the makings of a warrior. Probably a decent sheriff if we would ever need one. There we go. Next. Hey, guess what, Tack? This is your government-assigned dwarf. You are the skilled axe dwarf. And lastly, we have Kogan Imeshkadal, a novice ambusher, skilled crossbowman, dodger, leader and teacher, as well as adequate discipline. So it's probably going to be our game hunter, our ranger, starting out. Attack a sheriff, are we going to be okay? Sheriff is optional, but we'll see. Okay. Our last spin for our starting squad is Sun. Sunset. Sun S37. Alright. Okay, and as well as our dwarves, we can also take a look at some of our stock. We got copper picks, an anvil. An anvil is very important. Copper crossbow, quiver, bolts. Plump helmet spawn. Plump helmets are basically the backbone of dwarven food and drink industry. They're basically these, purple mushrooms. They grow underground. They grow fairly quickly, and yeah, they're basically paramount for a starting fort. But we also have pigtails, cave wheat, seed pods, or sweet pods, and rock nuts. Oh, and dimple cups. We got cave spider silk threads, cloth, ropes, bags, sheep wool, yarn, cloth, some lye if we want to make soap, dwarven wine, ale, beer, rum, some sand if we want to make glass, some logs in case we settle somewhere where there aren't too many trees, gypsum, which I know can be used to craft casts in case dwarves get their bones broken. We got yak's milk, reindeer's milk, donkey's milk, horse milk, cow's milk, sheep's milk, pig's milk, goat's milk, llama's milk, and alpaca's milk. We got tower cap splint, crutch, and bucket. Rat meat, turkey meat, chicken meat, dog meat, cat meat, sheep meat, cow meat, and a copper battle axe. But we also have livestock. We have 5 dogs, female, 1 male dog, 1 male hunting dog, 1 male and female cat, good for ridding us of vermin. We got 2 sheep, male and female. We got 4 chickens and 1 rooster. 2 female ducks and 1 male duck. 2 geese. 2 guinea birds. Guinea cocks, I guess. And then 5 turkeys. But what it doesn't tell you is that we're also going to be having a couple of grazing animals, because they carry our wagon all the way to the fort settlement. So we're going to have to care for those too. It could be yaks, ox, donkeys, horses. We don't know yet. But anyway, last thing to do on this screen, we have to define the names and affiliations with our fortress. So the name of our fortress, if we weren't meddling in it, would be Rhymed Clasp, Nanir Dodok. But that's not a very good fortress name. It needs to be something with glory, something honorable. Letter medals, rough hero, jump lever, rune poles, heart nets, right boots, Scorching Page, Acted Hammer, Fatal Sack, Shoot Bean, Helpful Rims, Bore Wire, Tool Shores, Guard Gears, Orbital, Bowel Crafted, ew. Rumor Bell, Wall Tomb, Tomb's Tusk. That's pretty cool. Rakust Bufut, Tomb's Tusk. And now the name of our group. The name of our starting civ. Thultegosor, the Barricade of Kingdoms. That's actually pretty solid. Like right off the bat. So we'll settle with that. The expedition is formed. Fatal Sack, I'm dead. Tomb's Tusk, yeah! And then lastly is the symbol. The symbol of our fortress. It would be called the Laborious Star, but we can change that after we define it first. So, yeah, here we have a few options. Let's see. Is there... no. Let's see what we have for objects. Oh yeah! Something really neat is that there are procedurally generated musical instruments that we can craft somewhere down the line. Alright, so I want to know... skulls are not on the list. Shoot. Ooh. What if it was a boning knife? Just one. A boning knife, and let's see if there's some kind of undead creature we can find. Ooh. Huh. Oh yeah, we could put a wagon. A wagon qualifies as a creature. Unicorns, trolls, troglodytes. What if, because this is our Froggy fort, what if we did a frog? I mean, the only option is a green tree frog. Or a giant green tree frog. We'll just do an ordinary one. So we have a boning knife and a green tree frog. And then we can define an action or a relationship between our chosen subjects. Let's see. Let's do... The green tree frog is embracing the boning knife, and the green tree frog is striking a menacing pose. That will be Tomb's Tusk's symbol. Tomb Tusk's civ symbol. And then we can change the name of the symbol. The Razor of Teeth. Hermit of Iron. I kind of like that on its own, but not in this case. The shields of taking, the beauty of halls, the incidental spear, the punch of halls, the turquoise clinch. Let's go with that, the turquoise clinch. And that will be our symbol. Lily pals, we are all set. We are ready to build ourselves a fortress. You have arrived. After a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond, your harsh trek has finally ended. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all of Thukansaksul. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance, whether by bolt, plow, or hook, provide for your dwarves. You are expecting a supply caravan just before winter entombs you, but it is spring now, enough time to delve secure lodgings, ere the dingo men get hungry. A new chapter of Dwarven history begins here at this place, Rakust Befut, Tomb's Tusk. Strike the earth! It crashed. The game crashed. We did it. We struck the earth. We struck the earth too hard. I'm not gonna lie. Based on my previous history with the game, I was somewhat worried that would happen. Sometimes it just happens. But it still stings every time. Let's see. I gotta... Well, shit. Okay, well, I guess I can't reuse the wheel as it stands. Grr. Alright, so, I'll have to work off a memory. Thankfully, my memory is quite good, I think. You quit the crash! Of course. I was halfway honestly anticipating that somebody would. Okay. So, restart the game. It was too perfect. Okay, there we go. Here we can bask in the lovely cutscene once more. Honestly, at least like the game didn't actually like start proper before it crashed. Otherwise that would have been much more devastating. Like, yeah, right now this is workable. I believe this was the exact spot that we wanted to settle. right here. Embark. Easy start. Okay, so different dwarves, but same setup. Customize. This one is for wifey. By the way, I will say, like, we don't automatically know the genders of each dwarf starting out on this screen, so if it doesn't line up, I apologize in advance. Tiny brain plays. I know Tack. Tack was our dedicated axe dwarf, so that stays the same. And then Sun was our ranger. Chroma. Whoops. Not gonna deal with that just yet. Chroma. Just got a random text. It's nothing. And then Gum Gum. And lastly, DJ Pingu. There. The entire crew. And then, distinctly, we wanted Tomb's Tusk. I don't remember the group name. The Wheel of Mystery! Let's go! Okay, symbol, object, boning knife. Green tree frog. The green tree frog is cringing. Striking a menacing pose. The imprisoned tool. Chambers of fog. Ooh. The oily hair. Sure, the tin teacher. Oh, keep working. Done. There we go. Alright, embark. Let's try this again. You have arrived after a journey in the mountain homes, yada yada yada, ere the dingo men get hungry, yada yada, tomb struck, strike the earth. Well. What's it gonna take, huh? Let me see if, because I know there was like a secondary program that opens up with the game, and I wonder if I could play it without that, because that might be the issue. problems with the current configuration? Oh, I think the program is needed in order for the textures to work. Also, you know what? I'm gonna turn aquifers off. Actually, it might be too late. I don't know. Hide DF hack console, that might help. May cause crashes for some users. Haha! Okay, that might help. Right. Enable. Run. One more time. Let's just get that out of the way already. We know the drill. Please. Please. Please work. Where are we? Okay. Okay, the aquifer is still a factor, no matter. Alright. Gonna go through this one more time. If this doesn't work, I'll have to do everything, like all the nicknaming, after the game starts. So, tiny brain, please. Chroma. Gun. DJ Pingu. Tic Tac. Sunset. Name Fort. Tomb. No, Tombs. Tusk. The Diamonds of Scalding, sure. Okay. Object. Boning knife. Frog. Embracing. Menacing pose. Not even gonna bother with the name this time. Okay, please. God damn it! What's the problem, game? Jesus! Sheesh. I might have to play it without the texture pack. Okay, so we're gonna disable that entirely. I don't care. Wait. Is the texture pack just working now? What the hell? Alright then. Oh boy. Everything's different now. But we were right here. easy start. Tombs. Tusk. The Adventurous Tour, sure. I don't care anymore. Knife. Frog. There. Wrong buttons. The frog is striking a triumphant pose. Let's see if that changes anything. Alright. Embark. We got it! We got it! Woo! Okay. The true dwarf trials are already happening. Amphibitoad! Thank you for the follow! Thank you for becoming a lily pal! The frog was too scary! Yeah! We managed to settle! Alright. Yeah, so... everything here. Can scroll around. Bunch of grass, trees, bushes, figs, saplings. Wait. Hold up. Peach tree sapling. Plum tree sapling. I think these are the exact textures that exist in Minecraft. For tree saplings, for an oak sapling. Okay. I can work with this. Okay. So, yep, this is our property. It's pretty flat. We got ponds of stagnant water as well as a running stream. Oh. Oh. Oh, is that... Yeah, that's an alligator. Oh, it's one of those biomes. Well, it is a marsh. Okay. So, first things first, we are gonna want to chop down some trees. We want some lumber. Whoop! There's not too many trees in the area, but we can make do. We can probably take these trees too. We want to avoid the trees that are close to the pond, or else like the logs will get stuck in the water and the dwarves will be too afraid to retrieve them if they don't know how to swim. Also, yeah, it seems the problem is that the main hills are on the other side of the river. So, like, right off the bat, we're gonna need a bridge. Or else we could... Actually, this hill actually looks better. So, we can assign our two mining dwarves to carve out an entrance. By the way, in case you're curious, like, there is compatibility for mouse controls with, like, these, with, like, this mod pack, but The game is primarily controlled with the keyboard. I think right here we can carve out a space for our logs. And then just snuggling up right into the dirt. And that can be where we grow our crops. And then right here we can put our starting workshops. And unpause. Oh right, should probably set up a grazing zone for our larger grazing animals. This should do. So our grazers are a water buffalo and a donkey. And the reason you gotta put them like in a pasture is because if they follow you underground, they will starve to death because there's no grass to eat. So you gotta keep them outside. Alright, so we got our first tree. And there's a tree that just... that's a lot of lumber that just crashed into the pond. Look at our miners go. Look at them go, look at them go. I would say, like, it would probably be a better idea to prioritize the, like, the cropping area, but... oh well. I won't tell them how to do their jobs. Okay, so now, with this space cleared out, we can make a stockpile for our wood. Oh, and just for ease of mind, let's carve out all these hill ramps. It just kind of bugs me when, like when they're there and they don't need to be. Like, we're going into a cavern, not climbing the hill. And yeah, whenever a stockpile is set up, all the dwarves... Whoa! What spooked all our livestock? Oh, there's a combat report. A raven woman? The stray dog attacks the raven woman, but she jumps away. The battle rages. Ah, no! Can it all end so quickly? Ah, no! Help! Save me! That poor woman. Here we can take a look at our units. Yeah, there's a bunch of animals. A bunch of raven people. As well as an alligator, a long-nosed gar, and a pike. These are all our livestock. These are all our dwarves. Which, by the way, talented miner. Is that their main skill? I think it is. Anyway, yep, this is wifey. Next, Tiny. Let me see. Okay, yeah, this is the axe dwarf. So, take tack. can't always keep up with chat because, like, the game window is, like, full up on my screen. Let's see, Florida dwarves. Dang, that dog is having absolutely no chill. Did the dog just kill her? I don't think so. I think the dog just chased her off. And yeah, there are animal people. They do exist in untamed wilds, as well as giant animals. Marbo, am I a dwarf then? Not yet. As our fortress grows, we will receive immigrants, and when it comes down to it, I'll nickname some of the immigrants, and one of them will likely be reserved, or rather government assigned to you, Tree. So, alright, that's tack. I believe this was Chroma, the stone crafter, and then the hunter was Sunset. Right. DJ Pingu had the very crucial job of growing our booze. And then Gum Gum is our butcher. Whoops. Alright. Looks like the space is carved out. Here we go. And we designate a farm plot. Let's just do this little space right there, and then we'll put an alcohol distillery right next to it, right smack dab next to it. Speaking of workshops, carpenters. We don't need a masons right now because we don't have any stone. We do need a butcher shop though. And then a craftsdwarf's shop. That'll do for the time being. And I suppose now that everything is starting to get situated, we can probably take a look at some of our dwarves, starting with wifey's. My wifey's government assigned dwarf. I feel just fine. Within the last season, she felt satisfied at work. Felt satisfied upon improving mining, and she felt fondness talking with a friend. She was a worshipper of id walled shadows. Which one is that? We can see here in their various relationships. Kindred spirit. I'm not sure if I've seen that before. Id is the goddess of earth, caverns, and mountains. Pretty self-explanatory. She's a true dwarf. She is 87 years old, born on the 28th of Slate in the year 112. Her ears are short, her silver eyes have thin irises, her nose bridge is somewhat concave, her very long hair is neatly combed, her dark brown skin is wrinkled, her hair is pale chestnut with flecks of gray, her nose is somewhat short. She is clumsy. The closest game I played to Dwarf Fortress is RimWorld, and I was not good at that game. Somehow always got killed by heat waves or killed by ox or something. I haven't played RimWorld, but frankly, like, just off the bat, I think I'd rather play Dwarf Fortress. Isn't Dwarf Fortress coming to Steam at some point? Yeah! Yeah, there's development for a Steam release. Although progress is very slow. Because, believe it or not, this complex as fuck game was designed by only 2 brothers. And to this day, they are the only devs to work on the game. And most of the duty is primarily one of the portmanteau, no, not portmanteau, the pseudonym Toady, the Toady one. 2 brothers who are probably demigods in mortal form. True! Anyway, Stellar Empress. She likes calcite platinum, green diamonds, green glass, splints, the words of the velvet of laces, and the sound of the sweetness of droplets. When possible, she prefers to consume giant raccoon, horse cheese, and dwarven beer. She absolutely detests flies. She has a great ability to focus and a great feel for social relationships, great analytical abilities, a lot of willpower, and a good kinesthetic sense, but she has a little difficulty with words and a questionable spatial sense. She holds virtually every common value of Dwarven society, and she dreams of creating a great work of art. We'll see what we can do about that. She is assertive to the point of aggression, unwilling to let others get a word in edgewise when she has something to say, and she finds the humor in most situations. She is greatly moved by art and natural beauty, and she is troubled by this because she dislikes the natural world. She isn't particularly ambitious. She sometimes acts with a greedy streak, or no, acts with little determination and confidence. She tends not to reveal personal information. She is trusting. She has a greedy streak. She is quick to form negative views about things. She often feels lustful. Oh no. She tends to assume the worst of 2 outcomes will be the one that comes to pass. She rarely feels discouraged. She bites her nails when she gets bored. And she needs alcohol to get through the working day. That's just every dwarf, though. She likes working outdoors and grumbles only mildly at inclement weather. That is the basic bio of Stellar Empress, the dwarf, who is apparently the leader of this expedition team. Everybody give a round of applause for Stellar Empress. Good job, wifey! Heck yeah, giant raccoons and beer are the best after a day's work. Only mild grumbling, that's good. Yeah, here's the thing that actually seems to only affect dwarves. So there's such a thing as sun sickness. And basically what it is that if a dwarf or an otherwise subterranean species goes too long without exposure to sunlight, then whenever they next go outside, sunlight will literally make them nauseous. Like, to the point where, like, they might actually throw up. Like little mini vampires. Well, you say that. bold of you to assume there are no vampires in this game. Okay, and we'll take a look at the other dwarves in due time. Let's try and get some work done, though. We got a fortress to build. It looks like the crafts dwarves shop is up and running already. First and foremost, we should probably make some wooden cups. Just so we have them. There are various things that can stress a dwarf out, and one of them is drinking anything without a proper cup. And I think... okay, we get 3 cups per log, so we should get 9. I suppose, first I just want to chop down this tree in particular, because we can see, like, right beneath here, this is a tree's roots. And thing is, if you mine out all the roots without chopping down the tree properly, by the time you chop down the tree, it'll leave a hole. It'll leave a gap in the ceiling. And when it comes to various dangerous forces in the wilderness and the world, you want to cover up. You want good shelter. You want good security. Gotta make sure that we don't have a plethora of idle workers. Always want to give them something to do. So far it seems to just be filling up the wood stockpile. Whoa! Was that what I thought it was? Oh no. No, it's just I think it was just the dogs running around scared. The raven people are still around. And they're all flying about, perched up in the trees. Yeah, those little dots. Yeah, here's a few. Raven man. He is fat. His feathers are black. His skin is dark peach, and his eyes are black. That's about all you gotta know. And apparently, yeah, the dogs keep chasing after the raven people. They're just chilling. They're just minding their own business. Most animal people tend to do that. They don't tend to be aggressive. They just kind of do whatever. Just kind of hang out. Oh, now that the farm plot is set up, we want plump helmets for every season. We can grow other stuff when the time comes. Okay, I can see that tree was chopped down because all the roots are gone. Oh wait, here we go. Let's put a dedicated space for some of our supplies, like our furniture and our goods. There will be more stockpiles in time, to be sure. Oop. Shoot. Remove designation. There. And then, yeah, just chop down this tree. Alright, now we can mine out that little block. Mine out that little block. Another stockpile. Let's go with furniture. I can edit it so that the stockpile holds both furniture and other assorted goods. Change settings. Finished goods. With the carpenter's shop, we need some beds. Dwarves do not, like, contrary to popular belief, dwarves do not like sleeping on the dirt. Yes, there are vampires. And they can be somewhat troublesome when they infiltrate your fortress. I assume dwarves wouldn't mind drinking straight from the still. You would think, right? But apparently, apparently we have dwarves with standards. Will they be mad at us over the whole dog attack thing? Not really. They'll just, if anything, they'll probably just avoid us. Must do ferret time, but I shall return. For now I lurk. Good! Take care of ferrets! With the ferrets! Oh, right! I need to... for some reason, anytime... What are those? Giant wild boars! It looks like Sun was hunting one of them. We can see some splatters of blood here. Well, it wasn't killed. And it looks like the Raven people have flown off. Yeah, if we can hunt down some of these wild boars, these giant wild boars, that would do quite well for our meat supply. Speaking of which, we need a food stockpile. Very important. Yeah, I can put it there. Yeah, so as I was saying, for some reason, one of the default settings for, like for Fortress gameplay is that for some reason, dwarves apparently, or like, it's apparently taboo to pick up used ammunition if, like, it was fired and then like left on the ground somewhere, but it's not actually a part of like dwarven culture. It's just a really weird thing that the game does, in which I assume, like, you know, the dwarves kind of think that way, like, oh, we don't want to pick up used ammunition. Like, we don't have any other any other ammo. We need all we can get. In which case... what was it? Was it... no. No. Oh yeah, we can assign some of these jobs at some point. We don't need a military yet. Oh! Yeah, we can report to the world map at any time. There are functions for this later on. X? No. No. The key is right there. I should probably take a look at it. It has to be set order, right? Jeez. What was it? I can't remember, wait. Workshop? No. Ah! I can't remember how to do it. What I'm trying to do is, there's a setting to just go over, like I just sprawl over across the map, and it's basically like a collective order, like, hey, if you find any ammunition just lying around, like some bolts, please pick them up. They are not forbidden, contrary to popular belief. I'm trying to figure out how that was done. Burrows? No. Wait, it was in designations, that's right. Reclaim, that's it. So I'm gonna start down here. Whoops. Gotta make sure I don't press enter. And then just go the entire way up to at least the river. So that way, well actually, oops, I should probably cover, like the elevation too. River. There. Okay, that should be good. Oh. I think it was this. Yeah. Sun is fighting, wild boar is fighting. Giant wild boar vomits wretches, vomits wretches, vomits wretches. Yeah, Sun's copper bolts, striking it in the lower body a bunch, which no doubt makes the boar sick. And it's not dead, probably because Sun hasn't had any opportunity to retrieve any more ammunition. Should be rectified soon, though. Oh, speaking of Sun, Looks like for a couple of dwarves, it's nap time. Just sleeping out in the outdoors. Gum Gum is sleeping in the hall. Stellar Empress is sleeping in the furniture stockpile. How long did it take me to learn how to play DF? On my own? I'm not even sure. A lot of it was like consulting the wiki as well as looking up YouTube tutorials. Because, I won't lie, the UI is incredibly user-unfriendly. Like, Dwarf Fortress is not a hard game to play, but it is really hard to understand, at least starting out. So, if I had to estimate, I want to say, like, it probably took me the span of, like, 2 months-ish total to really understand a lot of the ins and outs of the mechanics and gameplay. Can't forget to put down his food stockpile. And I know I need to make some bedrooms, too. In which case, I'll build a channel right down this way. And we'll carve out a bit of a hallway. Just stretching up like that. Yep, everybody's taking the barrels of foods and drinks over to the stockpile where they belong. That little purple thing is a plump helmet. It's a purple mushroom. No, I'm just curious. Okay, so the red... Like, the red, soil is loam. And then the green is peat. Like moss. We're not digging into the stone just yet. The embarking map did say there were shallow metals, so it shouldn't be too long before we can start working up, or like, setting up some forges. And now that this hallway is carved out, I'm gonna make a little space. Let's go that wide. And then just repeat across the peat. We have 7 dwarves, so... seven bedrooms. Like that. Hey, Take-Two! How's it going? Okay, I know alongside beds, we also need doors, because dwarves like their privacy. Put beds in those little corners, right? Like that. Just wrapped up your thing. What were you up to? Oh, here's an idea. was it? V? Yeah, okay, so we're on sun right off the bat, that's good. Preference? Work animals. Let's assign that stray hunting dog to Sun. Congratulations, Sun, you now have a dog. One of these dogs is now yours. What's also really funny, but also really cute, so you can assign pets, like, to people, but, or like, you can open up animals for adoption, and like, dwarves who have any interest might take them in. What? Thank you, Take-Two, for the host. Streaming, of course. As I was saying, so like you can open up livestock and animals to be adopted by dwarves over time, but there is one exception, and that's cats. Cats do not get adopted. Cats adopt their owners. But the thing is, cats are still helpful for a healthy fortress because they get rid of vermin that might otherwise try and steal some... Egu! Thank you for the host! As I should. Hi, Egu, you heard about this game. It is a fantastical little game of many possibilities, many of them very grim and dire. Okay. So now that it looks like we have all the doors constructed, now we just assign them. And with that, we can assign each dwarf a bedroom. Be Stellar Empresses, Tinies, Chromas, Gum Gum, DJ Pingu, Tic Tac, and Sun. That its programming is absolutely insane. It is! Like, don't let appearances fool you. It's one of the most complex designed, or complex games ever designed by mortal man. There's so much detail and so much shit. Yeah, now you have dwarves just kind of chilling in their bedrooms if they have nothing to do. Let me see. We could probably use with some barrels. As well as buckets. Buckets would probably be good. Oh right, I was trying to say that, like, cats are very good to have in a fortress because they rid vermin. They kill small little critters that might try to make off with some food. Oh! It's summertime! We have just conquered our first spring. I've also set it so that the game auto-saves every time the season turns. Okay. Oh, we have regular wild boars now. What is everybody up to? Probably should make a stockpile for refuse somewhere. like, probably just over here. Oh, right, we should probably go about carving out a tavern. It's gonna be fairly spacious. No idea what's going on, I just know its appearance reminds me of your childhood. Aww. Hell yeah, spring, I mean hell yeah, summer. Oh my god. Summer is almost over, IRL. It's just like a month left or so. Back from ferrets, your dwarf's still alive. He is. Or they are. Let's take a look at tech. And their psychology. Okay. I was near to my own bed. It's very interesting. She is interested near her own fine bed. She was annoyed at the lack of chairs, and annoyed after sleeping in the grass. She didn't feel anything after felling a tree. Didn't feel anything about improving woodcutting. Felt fondness remembering talking with a friend. Annoyed when caught in the rain. Didn't feel anything due to inebriation. Yo, I also like my bed. Yeah, this year did go whoosh. A casual worshipper of the hate of braving. I need to check on that. Lure a tusk. The hate is a dwarven god associated with lies, trickery, the rain, and lightning. You got a fine taste there, Tack. Anyway, you seem to be pretty good friends with all the other dwarves. That's good. 59 years old. Born in 140. Her hair is clean-shaven. Her ears are short, her nose bridge is somewhat concave, her hair is pale chestnut, her skin is peach, her eyes are silver. She is almost never sick, quick to heal, and slow to tire. She likes siltstone, nickel silver, heliodor, kinaf fabric, the color light blue, cages, earrings, chickens for their scratching, and the sound of the fabulous dessert of skirts. When possible, she prefers to consume oriole, tuber beer, and dwarven milk. She absolutely detests toads. Tack! How dare you? Why do you not like the froggies? Okay, what the fuck, toads are cool, okay. A discrepancy in tastes. Why is she so fucked up? She has a good kinesthetic sense, a way with words, and a good intellect. But she has little natural inclination towards music and very bad intuition. Unlike most dwarves, she personally finds those that deny their impulses somewhat stiff. And she dreams of mastering a skill. She is dour as a rule, and she is conflicted by this as she values parties and merrymaking in the abstract. She lives at a slow-going and leisurely pace. She is not readily moved by art or natural beauty, and she is conflicted by this as she values artwork and its creation. She is quite ambitious. She is quite polite. She's currently more rude. She tends to ask others for help with difficult decisions. She is slow to anger. She can handle stress. She tends to avoid crowds. She's currently more fearless, more confident, and more shameless, less private, and more thoughtless. She needs alcohol to get through the working day. Likes working outdoors and grumbles only mildly at inclement weather. Overall, she is untroubled by unmet needs. You are quite a character, Tack. They two are on so many levels. She's a good dwarf, minus the toad bit. Okay. Oh, we can see that a lot of flowers are blooming. Those are supposed to be flowers. Texture is a little funky, I guess. Speaking of like floral growths, now would actually be a good time to forage for some planty goodness, for some greens. Berries, figs, tubers, fallen fruit from the trees. Oh, the tavern's dug out. So we can designate a zone to a meeting area and assign that location as an inn. And it's officially titled The Date of Mirrors. Dwarves and their names. But of course, a tavern needs tables as well as chairs. And look, they're adjusting right to it. Is this Stellar Empress? And what is she doing? She's telling a story. What kind of story? About how in the year 71, the Gallia Pinnacles of the Entrancing Gorge founded Brightness Channeled. So she was recounting an origin story. And the ones currently in the tavern are just kind of socializing. Sun has fallen asleep on the floor, despite having a bedroom. Jeez, Sun. Your bedroom is literally right next door. And we also have some visitors. We have humans. Well, one human. Dobar... Oh, Dobar is a dwarf. And Guzmul is a spearman. And is an eye of Akalwumu. A scaly humanoid. It has thin wings of stretched skin. Its charcoal scales are round and set far apart. This night creature was first created by the human necromancer Sedmaid Toppadded of Nature Entered after horrible experiments on the human Alat Snugglefills in Worth Circled in the year 117. So, yeah, sometimes night creatures are not all evil. They just have very unfortunate backgrounds. The dislike of toads is her true moral failing. Two mirrors go on a date and one says, "You know, I see a lot of myself reflected in you." Okay. Alright. I gotcha. Well, it's good that we have a poet visiting our small little abode to entertain us. Right now it's just socializing. Oh wait! I almost forgot. We have sheep. They should be put out to pasture. We need them if we want wool. All of the other animals are fine. Oop. Risen Erythabel, the stray cat, has adopted Sun as their owner. It's just like I told ya. Cats decide their owners. So far it seems like Sun has all the pets in the fortress. Okay, we have tables. How do I want to arrange them? For now, I think I'll line them up across the wall like this. And then it doesn't look like the chairs are ready yet. I think this BGM was also played by one of the two brothers, either Toady or Three Toe. I want to say it was Toady. A lot of these random, like, little wigglies are just worms. Ooh! There's a musical performance going on. And Sun is singing! While a couple of the visitors are trying to mimic instruments. And then Tak is performing a dance. What dance? Drools is an example of the periwinkle of Saturninity. The work has no particular subject. Overall, the choreography is masterful. The Periwinkle of Saturninity is a solo performance dance originating in the Entrancing Gorge. The rules of the form are applied by choreographers to produce individual dances which can be performed. The dance is accompanied by the taupe rhythm. This dance is a refined art form with one specific move to be mastered. The dance is punctuated by sluggish footwork, fluid hand gestures, and expressive runs. Cool. Hell yeah, go you! Let's see. Looks like the chairs are done. We can put the chairs right up next to the tables. Oh, one of the visitors is telling... Oh, not anymore. I was too late. They were telling a story, but now they're reciting poetry with a whole bunch of domestic birds just surrounding them. You suppose we should probably build some nest boxes so all the birds have places to lay eggs? Probably be a good idea, right? Let's brew some booze. I don't know how much. Okay, so there's like a stock of 30-ish drinks. That's not too bad. Whoa, wait. What's this? What is that? It looks like some little creature. V? No. No, that's K. T? No. What is it? It's like a mouse. Wait a second. You can't tell me that that's what the splint looks like. Well, it is tower cap, which is distinctly white. Weird. I don't know why splints would look like mice. La creatura. Alright. So we got the tables and chairs set up. There's probably going to be more in time. Story. Listen to story. In the late autumn of 158, the padded cheeses defeated the fortress of scaling of the Entrancing Gorge and took over Judge Mirrors. The new government was called the Warm Climates. That is one heck of a tale, if I've ever heard one. And I'm sure it is valuable for our visitors and dwarves to learn of the tale. And you're back. Welcome back, Tree. We have a tavern. We have visitors. We're listening to stories. I'm just kind of wondering what next to do. Oh, we got giant sparrows. Giant sparrows flying about. Oh, that's Guzmul. They're procedurally generated, so they don't get an icon. Or like a proper icon. Well, procedurally generated in the sense like when this texture pack was made, like it predated like night creature experiments. Needs plump helmet spawn. No. We gotta wait to grow more mushrooms. And a mace dwarf is visiting. Migrants! Migrants! Where? Where? Oh, right here. Starting with a miner. There's no telling how many migrants we're gonna get in this first wave. Wait a second. This is the mace dwarf. Short, sturdy creature. She has a jutting chin, her ears are extremely narrow, slightly rounded silver eyes are protruding, her nose is slightly hooked, copper skin is slightly wrinkled. Okay, but it looks like the way she's flashing like this, it makes me think like either she's crouching or that she is, or like she's gotten injured in the past. She is a mace dwarf. Oh wow, we got 3 miners. 3 mine dwarves. Tavern drinks? I came back at the correct moment. Okay. Got 3 miners. Ooh, story. In the 3rd year, the dwarf Unib Steel Ravens became the queen of the Entrancing Gorge. That was a long time ago. Hold up. we got an artifact in our midst. I think the Mace Dwarf is probably carrying it. So, Book of the Mountain Home. This is a golden barrel-bound codex. The written portion consists of an 82-page guide entitled Book of the Mountain Home, authored by DWARF Voice Mirror. It concerns the Hillocks' hall practice. Overall, the prose is amateurish at best. Okay, so it's not an artifact, it's just a book. Okay, hang on. Just a bunch of miners, but we also have a child. A child? How dare. For the record, children are totally worthless as far as contributing to the productivity of the fortress. They're just kind of there to goof around and play and be kids, which in principle is good, but, you know, they stay that way until they reach 12 years old. But the new generations, I know. Yeah. And like, typically by the time they're all grown up, like, they're basically blank slates. Like, they don't have any skills, really to speak of, so, you know, that's... So even when it comes to productivity, like, they're not, you know, starting out, obviously, they're not going to be that great, but at least they contribute. Anyway, okay, yeah, a bunch of miners. I don't think we need this many miners. We got another child. Okay, yeah, see, here, a peasant. A peasant is just a dwarf that lives amongst us without any particular job or any particular skills. We could put them to work somewhere, but we also got another woodcutter. That's it. So now we're up to 15 dwarves. I'm going to pause real quick and consult the Twitter post I had made yesterday. Okay. I'm just looking through all the other folks that need to be nicknamed, or that will be given government-assigned dwarves. I don't have the wheel, the spinny wheel anymore, so I guess I'll just go top to bottom. Oh yeah, migrant dwarves tend to usually have much more expansive relationships in the larger world. So yeah, this is Mistem Icalicot Miner, and they are going to be named after Pig Julep. Pig Julep's government-assigned miner. Next, we have Raven. Raven GM. Ooh! English Kubuku-san apparently has a kill count. What? They... They murdered a dwarf. But they are a dwarf, right? Huh. This is concerning. Maybe just a bit. Maybe the dwarf was doing bad stuff, I don't know. No way to know. We already got chroma, we already got tech. Dwarficide, huh? Hey, Hey, Arbo. Do you want to be a fugitive? Because you're gonna be a fugitive. Next. After that, we have Ruina. And last but not least, for our woodcutter, the woodcutter has a kill count too. It's another dwarf! And it was only 2 years ago. What happened? What happened? Why did these dwarves kill their kin? But anyway, this is gonna be Archangel. So that covers all of the Lily Pals that commented on the Twitter post. Oh, heck yeah! I'm just so curious. I want to learn more about these two. I saw a dwarf recite and they sang muffins at the data mirrors. It is interesting. She doesn't feel anything talking with an acquaintance, and she is interested after watching a performance. She has 5 children! She appears to be a polytheist, worshipping multiple gods. 68 years old, 22nd of Opal. Her hair is wavy, very long hairs arranged in double braids. She has a very broad chin. Her nose bridge is incredibly concave. Her lips are thick. Her ears are somewhat short. Her eyebrows are somewhat high. Her hair is pale chestnut. Her skin is copper, and her eyes are silver. That's something you actually kind of tend to notice when it comes to dwarves of a certain civilization. They kind of have their own ethnicity. Like, so far all of the Amber Trumpet dwarves have silver eyes and, like, darker skin. As well as, like, concave noses. She is tough, but she is weak. Hey, Take Two. What's up? Our Bully Chew likes pudding stone, bismuth bronze, lace agate, wolverine bones, oyster shells, cotton fabric, kinaf paper, the color dark tan, bracelets, ballista arrows, cuttlefish for their distinctive pupils, and the words of the velvet of laces and the sound of the purple flicker of brightness. When possible, she prefers to consume white-browed gibbon, Kaniwa beer, quinoa, and tapirs milk. She absolutely detests mosquitoes. She has a great sense of empathy and a great feel for the surrounding space, but she has poor analytical abilities, a poor memory, quite poor focus, and a lack of understanding of social relationships. She personally is utterly disgusted by guile and cunning, sees war as a useful means to an end, and doesn't particularly respect commerce. She dreams of crafting a masterwork someday. She is swayed by emotional appeals. She has a low sense of self-esteem. She is confident under pressure. She doesn't try to get things done perfectly. She sometimes acts with little determination and confidence. She prefers to present herself modestly. She rarely feels discouraged. She is quite ambitious. She has an active imagination. She is not particularly interested in what others think of her. Or wait, I skipped a line. She has a noticeable lack of perseverance. She does not easily fall in love and rarely develops positive sentiments. She rolls her eyes when she's exasperated. She laughs loudly when she is excited. When she's nervous, she has a habit of chewing on her cheek. She often tells pointless stories when she's nervous. Very interesting. How about relationships? Oh, one of the children in our fortress is her youngest daughter. We have grandparents, we got siblings, aunts, half-sisters, uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins. A lover? Do tell. Urist Ustasthrob. Urist. And then the multiple deities they worship. You are a fascinating dwarf, Arbo. Oh, that sounds like me. Oh heck no, no love for mosquitoes here. They can heck off. I know it might be too much to ask, but I wanted to see if you'd be interested in joining a monster VTuber server. I don't know. Excuse me, when did you get my entire biography for your dwarf side character? All our dwarves have good vibes. Heck yeah. Story. In the early spring of 199, the dwarf Kiddish Chroma Gearscrapes became a member of the adventurous tour. Indeed they did! And apparently this is very important to Stellar Empress to listen to. A very important story. Hence why it's highlighted in pink. If anything, you can switch it out from my server. It's a chill and chill place with a lot of community. Chill and chill. Looks like there's a dance going on. Perform dance. It appears there's partners or such this time. The Intricacy of Aquamarine is a participation dance originating in the Entrancing Gorge. The forum guides dancers during improvised performances. The dance is accompanied by the sweetness of droplets. The dancers perform in a circle, moving slower and slower with the music. The dance is punctuated by high arm carriage with aborted moves. With aborted moves? That's an interesting phrase. Okay, cool. I guess I'll say, take two. I'll think about it. I know I'm not necessarily a monster girl. I don't consider myself one exactly. I'm just a froggy. A magical froggy, but just a frog. And I guess, like, by my own standards, I don't count, like, anthropomorphic animals as, like, monster people. I have a certain set of standards when it comes to what qualifies as a monster. We'll see on you, I'm not gonna ask anymore. Fair enough. Yeah, it's just... I know I mentioned before, like, I'm just kind of hesitant in general to join more servers than I have already. Which means you're still interested. Indeed. Yeah, it's just like I'm part of a lot of servers already, and so like I'm kind of iffy about joining more servers. But again, I'll think about it. I almost forgot I had soda. Okay, so I think we're gonna need 8 more bedrooms for the new mine. Well, I don't know about the kids. We can design sort of like a dormitory for the children, and then all the adults can have their own bedrooms. Let's put the kids, or the dormitory, like, another level lower. Because I feel weird, like, putting it in the same space as the grown-up bedrooms as well as the tavern. It's like, I don't know, it just... It feels like something that doesn't... Or, like, it's not really necessary. Just a hall up here, and then we can slap that room down there, and then more bedrooms. 15 minus 2, that's 13. 13 minus 7 is 6. 6 more bedrooms. That's quite manageable. Oh right, I need to designate the bedroom spaces. Okay. Oh. Digging designation canceled. Damp stone located. Oh dear. We found the aquifer. So maybe this isn't the best spot. I do know it's, you know, it's just a light aquifer, but nevertheless. I always want to be careful. Where do I put the kids then? I know we can use that little branch for something else. I have an idea, although it might take some time to pull off. How about we just build a little like a little shack to put all the kids, and that'll be their dormitory. They're not working in the fortress. They don't need to be in the fortress. Just like that, and it makes some use for the wood that's stockpiled up on that hill. Blocking sight, jeez. Picky, picky, picky. Oh wait, that wasn't suspended. Or was it? I couldn't tell. Okay. Next. Needs to be actually, no. There needs to be a couple of ramps, right here and right here, and we put, quote-unquote, floor. I guess the ramps need to be built first. Yep, just like that, and then for a ceiling, we just cover the whole square. And that'll be the roof. And then a proper floor indoors. Get to work on some beds. Actually, we should probably just have a couple of doors. And it'll be a good little community project for all of our dwarves. Giving our children a place to sleep and play, and just be kids. Right, I almost forgot. Tun Lilarkilrud, the peasant. Ooh. Apparently they're a competent mace dwarf. Have to keep that in mind if, or when we get a militia up and running. But as far as labor goes, we need to give you some work. How about stone detailing and fishing? As well as bone carving. Sure. In which case, we will need a fishery. We can plant that right out there. Busy, 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 putting all of our beloved dwarves to work. Why is this kid playing in our food stockpiles? What is so fun about our stockpiles of food and booze? Oh. Speaking of booze, how good are we? About 40-ish? That's not too bad. Need to keep an eye on it, though. A human dancer is visiting. Okay, we got more beds. It was raining for a bit, but now it's cleared up. Probably take down these ramps now. These serve no purpose. Guess I kid is learning more about dwarven tradition. Let me check. I don't know which kid what? They both have the same first name. Damn. Okay, this one is one of your kids, Arvo. Needs alcohol to get through the working day. Okay, so kids are not exempt from the booze. How old are the children? This one is 9 years old, and then this one is 7 years old. Okay, so not terribly young for kids. Door's not ready yet. I think once I get all the bedroom stuff figured out, like all done and such, I think we'll probably call it soon. Hasn't been terribly eventful yet. It usually takes time before the exciting stuff happens. We need a militia, after all. So that appears to be one door complete. Still need the other one. There we go. Alright, and then put a crap load of beds inside. Yeah, sure. That should do. We got a human bard visiting. Actually, no, I think I need to do it from the bed. Occupy the entire space. Label it as a dormitory. And they're just free beds. Now the thing is, children will often hang out in dormitories, but since they're all free beds, they're basically beds that any dwarf can come in and use. So it's probably good for our grown migrants too. Oh geez, it's autumn already. It's actually a pretty good cutoff point. A kid following in my footsteps. Okay, so here's the thing with autumn in regards to dwarven life at large. Autumn is usually trading season, where merchants from the mountain homes usually come by and trade goods with us. We don't have any goods to trade, so I'm kind of debating whether to bother building a trade depot just yet. One thing's for sure though, we need more beds. We need 6 beds, and then some doors. Before we finish off for tonight, let's just dive in. Let's take a look at Tiny's dwarf. I wish to make something. It's frustrating. She is frustrated after being unable to practice a craft for too long. She felt euphoric due to inebriation. She felt pleasure having an intellectual discussion with an acquaintance. She felt tenderness remembering talking with a lover. Tiny has a lover? She felt love remembering a new romance. Oh. Got a fling with Chroma, huh? With Chroma's dwarf. Anyway. Worshipper of Caspa the Heavenly Rain. 55 years old, born on the 18th of Sandstone. Her hair is straight, her very long hair is neatly combed, her small lobed ears are short, her nose bridge is somewhat concave, her hair is pale chestnut, her skin is dark tan, her eyes are silver, her eyebrows are slightly dense. Thick brows! Thick brows! She is very weak and very slow to heal. Tiny likes rock salt, bronze, chrysoprase, green glass, cabinet, coins, mules for their stubbornness, common skates for their flat bodies, and the sound of the heliotrope tone. When possible, she prefers to consume peregrine falcon, clownfish, dwarven wine, and garlic bulbs. She absolutely detests mussels. Like clam mussels, not like ripped mussels. She has an iron will, a very good sense of the position of her own body, and a good memory. But she has a meager ability with social relationships, very bad analytical abilities, and little patience. She personally doesn't care about nature one way or another, and she dreams of creating a great work of art. She is incredibly brave in the face of looming danger, perhaps a bit foolhardy. She dislikes receiving advice, preferring to her own counsel. She forms strong emotional bonds with others, at times to her detriment. She often finds herself changing her mind to agree with somebody else. She has little time for forgiveness and will generally seek retribution. She often acts with compassion. She finds helping others emotionally rewarding. She is somewhat quarrelsome, and she is bothered by this since she values friendship. She is stubborn. She has a sense of duty. She tries to keep her things orderly. She has a tendency to consider ideas and abstractions over practical applications. She is quick to anger. She has a greedy streak. She occasionally overindulges. She lives a fast-paced life. She can occasionally lose focus on the matter at hand. And yeah. Overall, she is somewhat focused with satisfied needs. Whoa. I gotta remember that, I gotta remember, like, scroll wheel does not do what I think it does. Alright. And so... that way tree as a kid. Kids. And I'm a dwarf side with low self-esteem that doesn't trust with wit and cunning. See, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Ha 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 ha. Tag, I have a feeling that you and my wife would get along. Seeing that my kid follows my steps because they're alcoholics, just like mom. Okay. So with the turn of autumn, and beds awaiting being built, constructed, and probably gonna have to figure out a way to get around the aquifer at some point. Nevertheless, this is where we leave Tomb's tusks. A tomb tusk? Tomb's tusk. This is where we leave Tomb's tusk for the time being. The first year is already half over. And it probably would have gone on longer if the game hadn't crashed 3 times. And so, we must leave the dwarves suspended in time to their own devices. Until next time, whenever that may be. To be fair, the crashes were very funny, I guess. Kick-ass tour, let's go! I'm really happy. Hello again, comrades. Yeah, I was just wrapping up Zero. Thanks so much for the fun stream. Aw, thank you. I'm so glad y'all enjoyed your dwarves and some of the antics. There were relatively few antics just yet. Like, usually the first few years are pretty uneventful, but wait, what? Wait, what? What? Dwarfs, yeah. Dwarf Fortress. As part of the Slaves to Armok series, Chapter 2 in particular. Slaves to Armok, by the way, was a game, or games that, the two brothers made prior to Dwarf Fortress. They're not nearly as well known or popular. These funky little subterranean critters. Dwarves are just small little creatures. Underground, living life with every swig of booze and beer. Alright, I guess I wanted to mention real quick. Gnomes with beards. Well, gnomes can have beards too. I was tempted to kind of include something, but given that I'm using like texture packs and stuff, I didn't know how well it would translate into the texture pack. But believe it or not, I've actually dabbled a little bit into modding this game. As it turns out, modding for Dwarf Fortress is actually, like, once you get the hang of how it all works, it's actually extremely easy. Like, it's no more difficult than just, like, just your average, like, writing programming, like in an HTML file or something. You can do it, like, just within Notepad. It's so easy. And so, what I did was I actually designed a few unique entities, creatures, and like I was tempted to incorporate them into the game, but again, texture packs. I didn't know how that would work. But like I also have files for like incorporating dinosaurs into the Dwarf Fortress world, as well as the monsters a la Monster Hunter. Eyebrow waggle. So maybe in the future I might like make other worlds that rely not entirely, but that will put in some of those critters, and we'll see what kind of nonsense we can get up to with that incorporated. Yeah. So anyway, that was Dwarf Fortress. Thank you all for joining me. Let's go find someone to wade. Absolutely love the music in this game. Yeah, it's just, oh, it's perfect. Just simple, like acoustic guitar. You got someone? Well, let me see if I can't find anybody, like on my followers list. We got Luma. We got Cece. We got Lori. Candy. Nana. Ellie Clops. Mel. And Egu. Oh, Mel and Egu are apparently playing together in Minecraft, I think. I think they're playing together. They're both playing Minecraft. It says they're both playing Minecraft. When you raid pillagers spawn. You know, I figured like just to pass on, the courtesy, I think I'll raid Egu. Just gotta situate his stream on my phone there. Okay, it's on standby. Alright. Because I know Egu was hosting the stream earlier, so I figure, like, you know, pass on, like, kind of return the gesture, sort of. Raid, host, same difference. Let's go! Alright, so, as far as Thursday is concerned, I might not stream this week. I might have an appointment this Thursday. Maybe. Possibly. I won't find out until tomorrow. But... I know I think I do have, a plan for what I want to do next stream. It'll be going back to a game series that we've tackled in the past, back when I was still working with my potato, rip in peace. But anyway, that's about all I have for tonight. Thank you all my Lily pals for coming! I love Dwarf Fortress. I can't wait to play more in time. So, with all that said and done, oh yeah, swimmy!